CTV family, catch us live on your TV screens.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ekse Live. Igama lam Digimoli Simsimi. I just felt like saying that again. It was a lovely interview that Luanile had with the poet. I mean, it can't be in my fields. But now we're going to be having another exceptionally lovely interview with Ntsiki, a winemaker from KwaZulu-Natal who went from being a domestic worker to owning her own company and being the director in it. But for now, let's introduce her and welcome her to the show. Welcome to the show and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, so Ntsiki, let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning of what does it mean to be the first black South African winemaker?
Well, I think being the first, it basically comes with pressure, but at the same time, it comes with responsibility. Is that understanding that you are there, but not just for yourself. There's so many people that are basically looking up to you. And also there are so many people who are rooting up for you, who are lifting your hands up. So it depends how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you go from being a domestic worker to a winemaker who now owns her own company?
I think one of the things when I was growing up, I remember I said to my grandmother I was going to go to university, I was going to do a 4-year degree and whatever, you say all those things.
Yeah.
But I had no clue really where that money was going to come from. And then so when I finished school, because there was no money for me to go to
Financial
university.
assistance,
Yes,
yeah.
financial assistance for university. So when I started working, I worked for a year, and in that process while I was working, and there was a guy, Jablan Jangas, who was recruiting for students to go to university. And my teachers at school, they basically looked for me and they were like, okay, there's a scholarship. And I applied, and South African Airways had said, if the university take you, we pay for you. That was just that. So I applied and the university accepted me, and yeah,
The rest is history.
the rest is history. But I think when they had an interview with me, I remember, and they called and they're like, do you know that it's in Afrikaans? I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll learn. It's okay. But I had no idea really. Like, there is a difference between understanding what they're saying
Yeah.
and really, really understanding what they're saying. Because they said Afrikaans, we're thinking of Afrikaans from school.
Yeah.
But actually, when you have to learn and study in a language, it's a completely different.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
So-
true because first of all, especially when you're being taught in Afrikaans, you first have to understand the concept in English, and then after you understand it in English, transfer it back to your own mother tongue, and then it's
By
like
the time you get there, you're exhausted.
by the time you get there, the teacher's done or the lecturer is already on to the next, and you're like, oh, but I missed that one, and then it's like, yo, you
Yes.
need to do this on your own. We told you it's Afrikaans. But you touched on your grandmother, who's your late grandmother right now. You named your company after her. Why was that?
To pay tribute. We all have our unsung heroes. We all have those people that when you think of, you feel like you can do anything in the world. Anything. When you used to speak to that person, you knew that you could do anything. So for me, she's that person.
Yeah.
She's love at its best. She's love in its totality. She represents everything for me. So to honor her, I decided I'm going to name my company after her.
Yes.
Because the legends live long.
Yeah,
so
that's
keep
true.
on living.
That's true.
So, yeah.
And now, for someone that's watching at home and would love to be a winemaker, what does it take to be a winemaker? Aside the education part of it, what does it take? Because I'm sure it takes more than just going to school. And I'm sure that I'm just assuming you
Yeah.
can actually be a winemaker without going to Stellenbosch University. I'm sure there's like cuts and turns that you can take.
If you are born on the farm,
Yeah.
and you have your family owns the farm, then yes,
Okay, so-
then you can use those shortcuts.
Okay. So let's put that out of the way.
Yes. So I think in everything that you want to do, it is important to understand the concept of it. It is important to understand the depth of it. So as you say, it's not really about going to Stellenbosch University. You can go to Elsenburg College, or you can learn in a different way. There are people who are owning wine, brands, like
Yeah.
they call the garages. They just only started doing something, probably learn a little bit there and then work. Because there is a business side of winemaking and there is winemaking.
Okay.
So it depends what you can own a wine business without studying winemaking. but also you can either you want to be the winemaker doing it physically
Yeah.
from step to step by step. So then you need to learn and understand that. So, but if you want to own a wine business, you don't have to know how to make wine, but you need to understand the industry. That is the key. You need to understand the industry, understand your surrounding, but also understand how the wine is made. You don't have to understand the depth of it, but you must be able to take the person through the process. Yeah.
And I believe that you're giving back to the youth, for example, students who aren't able to go to Stellenbosch University, for example, because of financial assistance or whatever. Please talk to us about that.
So, I don't know if I call that giving back really. I mean,
Why?
look, it's part of the process.
Yes.
You know, it's part of the process. I'm involved with the Pinotage Youth Development Academy. So what we're doing, so I'm one of the directors on the board, and we are training young people through the value chain of the wine industry. So they will basically, they learn a little bit of winemaking, a little bit of tasting room, vineyards, hospitality, but most importantly, personal development. Because you can teach someone technical skills, but if their inner part, if their heart, their humanity, their whatever you want to call it, that thing that's within a person that keeps a person drive, that makes a person to be able to drive themselves, is not well developed, is not being supported. Somehow they're going to lose that on the road. So we focus on that part.
Okay. So talk to me about some of the challenges that has surprised you of being a winemaker. Something you were like, I did not think this was going to come my way as a winemaker.
Okay, something like this. Something like this. All I knew I was going to be making wine. I didn't know that I'm going to be. There's a moment where you're going to need to be on television.
Yeah.
There's a moment where you need to deal with journalists. There's a moment you need to deal with, you know.
Yeah.
So I only thought winemaking.
You're just going to be dealing with grapes.
I'm going to make wine, finish making wine, talk to people who are going to be tasting the wine and drinking the wine. That's as far as I could. I thought it's going to go. And I realized that there's this part.
It's a bigger picture of it
It's
all.
a bigger picture after that.
And something like this is something that you actually face and do a lot, because I know you were recognized by CNN, right? CNN News and Good Morning America and SABC. You have won numerous awards as well. Which award do you keep close to heart and you just like, this award means the world to me?
Oh, wow. It's not an award.
It's not an award.
No. I think for me, it was a wine moment. I call it a wine moment.
A wine moment, okay.
My very first wine, it had won a gold medal.
Okay.
And I took that wine to drink it with my grandmother. So it's nothing really surpasses that for me. I can be named this, but that moment I had with her. And it was exciting because I got home, I'm all excited. Go, my one award. You know, you got all that, and then I pour it in the cups. And then she tasted, she goes, it's nice. Facial expression says sour. So I was like, okay. Yeah.
Yes. And speaking of moments also, let's touch on the COVID-19 moment that we've all faced. How did the ban of alcohol influence or rather impact your business and your income stream?
I think just a little bit of emotions there. I remember when the first ban, there was a panic. There was like, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? How am I going to deal with this? And then I think it was after a day or two, I had to think, okay, whoa, okay, what does this mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I thought, okay, so there's no travel. Because around that time, it was March, and generally April, I started traveling overseas to see clients and do tasting and, you know, promote the brand. And I was like, that's not going to happen.
Gee.
Okay, no tasting, you know, you see all these things that's not going to happen. And I was like, okay, actually, this is the time to look at our marketing plan, our website change. Let's change our website. Let's go online. So it basically brought the opportunity to say, okay, let's develop fast.
Yeah,
and it drove us to do things that they were going to take long for us to do, but we ended up doing them faster. All of a sudden, I was doing a lot of tastings.
Yeah,
more than
online. Yeah.
My very first tasting, I did it with my distributor in Atlanta. It's like, oh, we're going to do an Instagram tasting. And I was like,
Fancy.
No, I'm thinking, I'm like,
Weird.
whoa, how? And he goes, no, we're going to talk about the wine. You're just going to have the wine. You're going to taste the wine. We're tasting the wine on the other side. That's it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Let's do it. I've got
that's
no
it.
other choice, really.
But now the time difference.
Yeah. Speaking about time, unfortunately, we're running out of time for this interview, but it's been a lovely interview. Thank you so much for coming through, Ntsiki. I have learned a lot about wine just from speaking to you, that you don't really have, you do actually have to go to school. You do have to go to school.
Yeah.
You're watching Ekse Live, you're going to a quick break, but we will be back. You will see Mr. Malulega very, very soon. See you soon.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. As I promised you, we have a guest today, Queen Sodra, the assistant founder of Sodra, which is a clothing company from Soweto in Shawela. Hi ma'am, how are you? And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Can you kindly introduce yourself to our audience out there?
Okay, hi guys. My name is Ekse, aka Queen Sodra, from Shawela.
Ma'am, tell me, out of all the names that you had, why Sodra? Where does the name come from? How did it originate?
Sodra is a slang word of Soweto.
Oh,
So
okay.
it basically means Soweto.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
when did it start, and where did you get the inspiration?
From Ekse, you know. So it started back then in 2008, you know. So Italo Mutwami, my partner,
Yes.
was Tembiso Mabaso.
Okay.
So we started basically with his friends, you know,
Yes.
because they wanted to do ikipa for their birthdays,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
So Baz Printisa, you know, and then but one was like, man, this thing is interesting, it's quite nice. Baz Tengisa. So I started with the map design. So as you can see now, so unfortunately I don't have the example of a map.
Okay.
But that's when it started. So bazithengisa, you know. So uThembiso fell in love with the printing. So
Okay.
njalo mabazihambisa bayosiprintisa.
Yes.
Abona ukuthi this thing is quite nice, mabaziprinta and stuff. So I can actually do my own thing, you know. So that's when aqala ke iSodra.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the fashion industry has been known to be a dog-eat-the-dog fraternity. So how have you been surviving? How have you managed to tackle all the challenges that you've been facing throughout the years? And how long have you been in operation?
Yeah, I must say it's been difficult.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It's been quite rough. But yeah, sihlalile and we're still pushing, you know, because you know, as you know, business sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's
Yes,
you know,
it's
it's
down,
slow.
yes.
But it's genuine, you know, and because we've got uthando for this thing, we're not gonna quit. You
Okay.
know, and also seeing abantu by respond towards a brand, logo kusikhuthaza kakhulu.
Cool, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so global kusizile nje ukuthi sihlale kakhulu.
Okay. So your brand, tell me, is it only available in your shop in Shawela, or you supply other giant retailers, or not there, or you only selling here?
Currently, we are only selling here, but you can order from outside the provinces and then
Tell me, you only have this shop, or
Yes.
you supply other giant retailers, which I can not name them, or you only selling from this shop in Shawela?
So we are currently selling in this shop, but obviously we can order from wherever you are, because
Yes.
we can deliver
Okay.
as well. Yeah.
In the next 5 years, where is Sondra going? Can you sell us your 5 years plan? From now on, where are you going? How are you planning on
That's what
growing?
your idea tomorrow.
No, I just want to know whether you want to branch out, you want to open 7 shops, you want to open 3 shops
Well,
and stuff
what I
like
can
that.
say
Yeah.
is that the future looks bright.
Ah, that's good, eh?
Yeah, it definitely looks bright. There's a lot of things that we want to do. So yeah, to God being the glory, I know it will all be possible.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Alright, since you've been in the industry for quite a long time now, I want you to give me 3 pointers, 3 advices
Okay.
to our audience out there, 3 advices on how to survive in this dog-eat-the-dog world. How did you survive? Point number 1, what should be done, what shouldn't be done in this business, man?
What I can say is that don't copy someone else. Do your thing.
Okay.
So as long as you've got passion,
Yeah.
yeah. So just enjoy, do your thing and keep pushing, man. Just keep pushing. Unga give up. Yeah. Just keep pushing. Keep
Okay.
pushing. Just keep doing your thing and don't look back.
Alright guys, you have heard it from our guest, Queen Sodra. She gave me the greatest advice on how to survive in this dog eat the dog world of fashion industry. So when we come back from the break, she will be giving us more information about how to reinvest in your business, how to price your garments, how to price your clothing out there, because some entrepreneurs they over balloon their prices to make a quick cash, to make a quick profit out of their product, and end up losing their clients out there. Thank you, guys. Hi guys, welcome back to Cape TV, the only show that empower, inspire and motivate you on how to operate your business professionally. I'm still chilling with Queen Sodra from Sodra Clothing Brand. Ma'am, tell me, for the last 5 years, you've been consistent with your pricing, right? Some business, more especially in the fashion industry, when they come up with brands, they balloon up their prices and that affect their growth. Because once you start ballooning up your prices without the market-related prices, you tend to lose clients. So now how do you price your different garments in your show? For an example, your caps, your hoodie, your trackpants, how do you put the price on them?
Our price is very cheap. Like I will go bad, because of like target market here too. Target market here too. Abantwana besikolo, abantu basekasi, abantu abadala. So we try ukuthi ibe as affordable as possible, just so everyone angakwazi ukuthi afford ukuba nekepisi lasesodra mawusesodra, we understand something ezoba difficult for you to buy. So ikepisi lethu lihamba nge-150, isibuti sethu sihamba nge-150, ikipa zethu zinama-design angafani.
Yes, I
So
can see.
we've got iskipa se-150, we've got iskipa se-200 and sineskipa se-250, as well as ama-tracksuit bethu nama-top. So
Yes.
aqala from 300 to 500.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there's an audience who's watching the show right now, and she or he is inspired by what you say. So now I need to advise them on what to do when they want to start a clothing brand. What are the do's and don'ts? If I want to start my own clothing brand, what must I do in order to be consistent for the last 5 years, just like you?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a difficult one. But engakusho ukuthi, like I feel ukuthi ukopa it's one of the things esisibulalayo kakhulu, because you try and copy something else's thing and then bese ugcine into yakho seyiphelele emoyeni ingasabi successful, ingasafiki la ufuna ukuthi ifike khona, you understand?
Okay.
So I feel ukuthi it's very important ukuthi if you want to start a clothing brand, uyicabange kahle ukuthi ufuna uqala ini and why.
No.
So I feel ukuthi kanjalo kungakusiza ukuthi ube successful in building a brand, or rather in starting your own brand. So
okay. So if a client want to get hold of you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, home address, WhatsApp, however they want to interact with you, where do they get you, ma'am? How do they get hold of you?
okay, so WhatsApp sikona on 073 774 9141 and 078 9794 911. Oh, I think it's the same number, ne?
Okay.
073 774 9141. Sorry, I'm confused. And then on Facebook, we are on King Sotra Prince.
Okay.
And then on Instagram, it's Sotra_original. So
Okay.
on Twitter, it's King Sotra Prince as well.
Alright guys, you have heard it from Queen Sodra, representing Sodra Clothing Brand from Soweto.